For the past week, mass media, social media, and celebrities have been screaming and freaking out about the Jussie Smollett situation, rightfully so if it's true, saying, oh my god, this is horrible, it was MAGA country, how could this happen, this is your fault, this and that. You even have up-and-coming wannabe presidents saying that it's equivalent to lynching. But the only problem is, what actually happened, or did it even happen at all? Now that the evidence is coming forward, there isn't really a lot of evidence, and the story's just not adding up. First of all, in Chicago, there's been 30,000 cameras added, so of course there are cameras everywhere, but they can't find the footage of this incident. All they found is this picture of two men walking away from the incident, which in many reports has been 15 to 30 minutes before it actually happened. Walking away from it. This is not evidence. Other reports are saying that he doesn't want to give up his phone to prove he was on the phone with his manager, and other reports are saying that it was over 40 minutes before he called the police and kept the rope around his neck. And here's the thing, I don't want to just assume people are liars, but this same group of people, the celebrity, multi-million-dollar liberal elite class, have lied so many times, and I'm about to show you proof if you watch this video. But the big story here today is a viral picture that went all over Instagram and shared millions of times, posted by TIP, Kevin Hart, many celebrities weighing in. Terrible, disgusting, heartbreaking. Thank you for using your platform to bring more awareness to this issue. Man, this is not it. I'm lost for words. He just wants to show his base just how hateful he is just before the midterm. He knows that this is what they feed off of. This is just sick. The only problem with that picture is it's from a 2014 Russell Simmons YouTube video. This should have been frighteningly obvious due to the fact that you could tell that the kids don't even really look Spanish or Latino. How do people not even think to take 5 to 10 seconds to check to see if it's real or not before they post it or comment on it? This happens on both sides of the political spectrum, and it's straight up embarrassing. With a simple Google search, the first website that pops up is Snopes, which is a notoriously left-leaning anti-Trump platform, and even they had the decency to tell you that it was false, not just saying it, clouding the story, but with a link, video, and picture footage that it's from a 2014 Russell Simmons video. According to reports, people got caught paying mentally ill folks to start violence at Trump rallies to frame it to make it look like Trump supporters were violent. You barely heard about it because most liberal celebrities and media won't talk about it. They just move on to the next lie. They lied about Jasmine Barnes just a few weeks ago. They said it was a white person and then got awfully quiet about it when they found out it was actually 2 black people who killed this innocent young girl. A CNN Journalist of the Year award winner stepped down because he lied about dozens of stories, including ones about Kaepernick with phone calls and interviews that didn't exist and Middle America interviews to make Trump supporters look bad. He literally won a CNN Journalist of the Year award, and he literally was fabricating his stories, completely mentally ill, delusional. Very, very sad life to live. Another beautiful day and more fake and completely outdated pictures being shared to millions of people by celebrities. This time it's J-Lo sharing this picture to her 76 million follower audience. 76 million people. Reading the news about the separation of children from their families, I can't help but think about my own children. I cannot fathom a world where they would be ripped from my arms, taken to a place no better than a prison far from home. I feel we will never forget this moment in time. Before I continue, it took me about 15 seconds to figure out that this picture was from a 2016 article showcasing women and children who had to flee Iraq due to terrorist groups taking over their cities during the Obama administration. Between that, Libya, and Syria, which the mainstream media barely mentions, it is indeed one of the biggest humanitarian crises and refugee crises of modern history. But this 2016 picture of Iraqis has nothing to do with Latino and Latina families. First of all, President Trump passed an executive order yesterday to keep parents with their children when they illegally cross the border. That literally happened yesterday, and she posts this fake picture from Iraq today with this outrage and outcry about how terrible it is. This 2014 picture of kids in cages is from the Barack Obama administration. Nobody cared. I cannot fathom a world where they would be ripped from my arms. Well, in that world, you would have to illegally cross a border with your children, which is incredibly, incredibly risky, considering there's reports of 80% of the women being raped when coming over from Central America. So if you take that risk and put your child in danger trying to cross into the United States, it's a lot different, J-Lo, than you just having your child ripped from you. How hard is that to understand? A-Rod said, heart, heart, heart. Global Grind said, hands up, pray emoji. Is the celebrity elite class really that out of touch? Because most other people on this picture post weren't buying it. They lied about the first round of kids in cages picture. When the first kids in cages, oh my God, Trump's putting kids in cages. The very first picture that surfaced and surrounded the web was actually from the Obama administration long before Trump had got there, but they never admitted that. They just went on to new pictures and new lies, and that's how they usually work. Let me show you this video about how they use pictures as propaganda, including one that helped fuel the Syrian war that led to the refugee crisis that is crushing Europe, parts of America, and definitely not helping the Middle East or Africa either. And then the news has the audacity to say, oh, it's climate change that's going to lead to more war. No, it's the fact that you use propaganda pictures, you lie to people, you go and murder the leaders of certain countries, and then you allow for a power vacuum where slave trade and organ harvesting now exists because the strongest group on the ground is actually the terrorists. It's not the climate or the weather or the volcanoes or the ocean or even the pollution that's causing wars. It's the media lies that celebrities eat up and nonstop post. Let's make this quick. Remember this picture of a boy from Syria? It was blasted all over mass media to push a certain war agenda, an agenda of war in Syria. Turns out, the father of this boy said it was used as propaganda to push the opposite agenda that he and his family had. They were pro-Syrian government, and the US and world media used it as an anti-Syrian government propaganda picture. Isn't that pretty insane? But here's the thing, on to the next picture, on to the next story. Nobody follows up, nobody cares about the truth. Just this last week there was another chemical attack in Syria, but the news barely wants to talk about it because it was actually the rebels, whom the US government was funding before Trump. It's not about saving women and children, it's about using pictures to push a certain political agenda. Unfortunately, that's the truth. Remember this picture from this year? It was used to push an aggressive political agenda for parents being separated from children at the border. Only one problem. This mother and this child were never separated at the border. Reportedly, actually she was basically kidnapped from the father. The mother snatched the child without telling anyone in the family, left a husband and other kids with a well-paying job, paid a smuggler at the border, and never got separated. This didn't stop a Facebook fundraiser from raising $20 million in the name of parent separation using that faulty pic. This didn't stop Time magazine from publishing this on the cover with a Photoshop picture blaming it on President Trump when the whole propaganda wasn't even true. Not to mention that the border is a multi-layered problem and there's actual reasons that they separate parents from children. There's a huge child trafficking problem at the border. Reports of people stealing and using other people's kids so they have a kid when they cross the border. Huffington Post liberal news outlet reports that up to 80% of young women and girls crossing the border illegally get raped. But for some reason the news and celebrities don't seem to care about that. They just want to use this picture for fake propaganda. But a lot of people don't seem to care. They'd rather act on Instagram like they're a good person rather than actually be a good person. This pic was totally manipulated and lied about. Let's go to this recent picture. There's multiple things very suspicious with this picture. The first one is if you zoom into the background, you could see that there's 3 people holding on to each other, posing for a photographer. If you notice all the people in the background, they're not moving. These people are not running. And if you look in the left corner, it looks like someone's abusing their child. But child abuse, rape, human trafficking, A political agenda that has forced a humanitarian crisis in Tijuana, Mexico. From the side of the political debate that claims, I love Mexicans more than you do. If you love Mexicans so much, why are you telling 20,000 plus people to go in Tijuana, causing a humanitarian crisis in a country that's had the highest murder rate than they ever have in their recorded history? They lied about the Honduras girl. They raised $20 million off this lie and photoshopped a propaganda time cover magazine off this lie. She was never separated from her mother. But she was actually separated from her father because her father, who had other kids with the wife, said that he was never contacted before this woman went towards the border, paid a coyote, a smuggler, and did all this stuff that the media will never tell you. So the real parent separation was this woman snatching her kid away from the father with a good paying job and other kids that she left behind. Most celebrities didn't retract, they didn't apologize for it, and they didn't tell their audience that they lied about it. They either deleted it, didn't delete it, or moved on to the next lie. The lies are stacking up so high, I don't even know where to start. This isn't even the half of it. I'll make more videos soon. There have been dozens upon hundreds of lies that the media and the celebrities have pushed, and they won't stop. They act like the victims, but what they really are is a multi-millionaire elite class of people who are control freaks, who don't want you to have any personal freedom or individual liberties, who constantly crush, silence, and lie about the working class people. That's what they really do. And hopefully this video at least makes you consider that. Since I'm banned on Facebook now, thank you to everybody supporting and sharing my videos. I'll be back soon.
See, I'll take it double up like I invested on my savings. Bob Ross, you'll never see me tripping. Got the vision, I don't even need assistance. Bob Ross, all I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real, Bob Ross. I be too calm for the drama. You don't wanna cause a problem, I'll solve it, Bob Ross. All I do is win. Yeah, don't mess with the king. For real, Bob Ross.